Silent Hill, Stanley Kubrick, Stephen King, 2001, A Space Odyssey, System Shock, Dead Space, Alien. These and other inspirations come together today to bring you the game I am recommending. You should be keeping a close eye on this one. This is Spirits of Xanadu. It's genuinely hard to describe Spirits of Xanadu. By all accounts, it looks and sounds like such a simple game. You're just a nameless engineer sent to a ship gone silent and you need to repair it for its journey home. The ship's AI and robots have gone nuts, so you have to whip out a pistol and eventually find an SMG and a shotgun and put them down. Along the way you solve a few puzzles, jab in the coordinates, and boom! Mission complete. Sometimes in less than 2 hours. Or so you think. That's where the game really gets you. It's not as simple as a generic first-person shooter, and it's sure as hell not a roguelike, and the easiest ending is not the true ending. On top of this, Spirits of Xanadu has an intensely brooding atmosphere with some of the best sound design in any indie project ever. Recognizing the sound of an enemy nearby is harrowing, and every time the music plays, it is haunting. You feel like you are trapped in some late 70s sci-fi film, and everything ties into that feeling. The Xanadu's built for practicality, not looking pretty, much like the Nostromo in Alien. There are cryo chambers and giant bulky machinery. Robots look like Daleks and Terminators. Yet, it doesn't feel like the art aesthetic is ripping off of its source material, but instead making it its own, while still providing a proper homage. All the meanwhile, the positively fantastic emphasis on objects in the distance and lighting adds a new tinge of mystery and uncertainty. Trust me, as someone who normally turns off and hates depth of field in most of his games, you need to use depth of field when playing Spirits of Xanadu. I cannot imagine playing it without it. It adds a fantastic amount to the game, and that is rarely the case. This is really smart design. That's not to say that the gameplay itself is something you should ignore. It emphasizes learning how to handle each situation and really using your head with puzzles. When it throws an enemy at you, it's distinct and there's a reason for it, and the context emphasizes how you should handle them. It's like an enemy encounter in Dead Space or Dark Souls. You don't just walk up and poof, you know how to defeat an enemy. You learn what guns are best for which enemies. You find new weapons by exploring, and you're continually figuring out the optimal ways to clear out enemies in each room, like an old Castlevania game. And I don't really want to spoil the puzzles because some of them are genius in their simplicity. Like figuring out a lock code by using a simple image and knowing a cute little reference there to an old school rhyme. That is really cool! I didn't have to figure out some gamey logic, I just had to think. Do you know how rare it is for me to just actually approach a puzzle in a video game and simply think? Not have to fumble around with whatever the developers have forced me to have to work with? The writing is also equal parts intense, dramatic, stoic, hilarious, and calm in its own odd way. The overall delivery of the cast is fantastic, although there are some hit or miss moments. Seriously though, I have sat through worse examples of voice acting on much higher profile projects with way bigger budgets, so I can't exactly knock a few awkward lines. Plus, you also grow oddly attached to some of the Xanadu's crew, and you grow sad once you find all their audio diaries. The depth here is surprising, like the one member of the crew is also a film critic, and you actually can find an unfinished review by him. And the captain, she's got so much backstory going on that you just want to know more about, and you wish what happens doesn't happen because you feel real sympathy for her. It's impressive just how 9 audio logs and a few text logs make you feel so attached to these people. And as if this weren't enough, there's also tons of extra little secrets and hidden moments. I won't tell you them all, but let's just say you should totally enter the Konami code, but swap A and B so that it's BA instead of AB. There's also an optional peaceful mode that makes all the robots docile in case you are here more for the story and puzzles than the combat itself. I personally advise that for if you want to collect everything and get the King of the Dead achievement, but your first time through playing this game should include combat. And yes, there will be multiple runs. The game has apparently 3 endings to speak of, and I'm still working towards seeing the second one. It's needless to say that this is the sort of game old school Silent Hill fans can really appreciate for its proper use of obscure clues and hints. I don't know what else to tell you. It's got pitch perfect atmosphere, a solid story, just the right amount of content for its runtime. Seriously, it felt perfect runtime. Some really satisfying combat, and a mystery so gripping you want to find out the secrets that remain sealed. That's why I'm giving Spirits of Xanadu a rarely given the highest recommendation of a 10 out of 10. I simply cannot recommend it enough. This is probably going to be my favorite indie of the year, and that's an ambitious statement to make this early in the year, but I feel confident in that statement.
For the first time ever, we're gonna bro where we've never broed before.
For me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
You've never met mercenaries as totally bro as Salem and Rios, dude. You can go back to ancient Greece as the ultimate badass Kratos and totally not actually kill any gods.